ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानज्ञानाशलाख्या चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं। श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सद्वैतं श्रद्धभूतं परिगणसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनि इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावादिन्ये कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्याय नामिने गौरहतविषये नमो। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपीश गोपीकांत राधाकांतो नमस्तुते। तप्तकांच गौरांगे राधा वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु एव च पतितनं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So today we will discuss Chida Dahi Mahotsav. Basically we know it Panihati Chida Dahi Maha Mahotsav. So basically this is the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that time. So we are discuss everything about Chida Dahi Mahotsav, what is Chida Dahi, everything we will discuss in this today's class. So basically, the Chida Dahi Mahotsav, also known as the Chipped Rice Festival of Panihati. Chipped rice, basically we in Hindi we call it Chida, Chiuda, which is chipped, मतलब it's a flat rice of Chida Mahotsav is also known as the Chief Rice Festival of Panihati, is yearly celebration of the pastimes of Srila Raghunatha Das Goswami and Lord Nityananda Prabhu. This astonishing pastime took place on the banks of Ganges at Panihati, which is just north of Kolkata. Lord Chaitanya and his associates enjoyed many transcendental pastimes. Chida Dahi Mahotsav remembers how the Lord merciful reciprocated with his devotees by arranging through Nityananda Prabhu and Raghunatha Das to provide an acoustic feast of yogurt and chipped rice, along with various other nectar foodstuff. Linked below is an extract from Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela chapter 6, which describes this wonderful pastime in detail. Uh, the Chip Rice festival took place just before the monsoon, when it is very hot, 45 to 50 degrees Celsius, and muggy, 80 to 90% humidity. So naturally, the most cooling foodstuffs were offered. Cool yogurt, it means dahi, and chipped rice, chida, were offered with sugar, bananas, milk, sweets, and cakes. Our feast menu begins with Ganges curd upma, a moist and delicious preparation of vegetable and grain. Before offering a flavoral stream of yogurt is poured around the base of the upma in honor of the festival. In honor of the festival, goers who had to stand in the Ganges to enjoy their prasadam because there was no room left on the river banks. A light and simple cracked urad dal is offered with a side of banana chapatis drenched in orange cardamom butter, etc. A sumptuously reached cauliflower and red pepper sabji is simply to make and bring smiles to the devotees. A dry curry of peas and paneer is stuffed in a hollow lemon, which adds nice flavor to the preparation. Rava idli is a savory cake that goes nicely with the aloo Kerala fry. Kerala fry, a spicy fried patty of potato and a bitter melon nested amongst the whites of rice and yogurt. This delightfully stuffed white baby eggplant. Baby eggplant means brinjal, which is filled with spiced almond butter, then wrapped together with lemongrass and baked. Another pungent savory is the bagan sarso, a treat of dyed eggplant wrapped in a mustard greens, then a crispy fried in ghee. Roasted okra raita provides a smooth and mellow touch with spicy dishes, while the rhubarb and dried cherry chutney adds a tangy flavor to the idli and savory. The nectar preparation from the original Chida Dahi festival are we have faithfully represented by Chida Dahi pots. These two wonderful sweet rices are served in traditional clay bowls. In one pot, chipped rice is prepared in sweet yogurt with bananas, while the second pot contains rice in a sweet thick kheer with ghee, bananas, and camphor. A milk a milk sweet cake. The Gunja Mala Malpuri is encircled with fresh red and blackberries, reminiscent of the garland of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Raghunath Dasya to wear around his neck. Srila Dasya gave up eating all food stuff after departure from this world of Srila Sanatana. And from that time on, Raghunatha would only take buttermilk in leaf cups. He continued in this way until the departure of Rupa Goswami, after which Raghunatha gave uh, up all eating and drinking in honor of the topmost associate of the Lord. We offer banana leaves, leaf cups of buttermilk. The feast is complete with tart, lime cooler, blending honey, ginger, and anise that would surely please all those sitting in the Panihati Shan on the banks of Gangama. Uh, where is Panihati? Panihati is located on the banks of the Ganges, 10 miles north of Calcutta, north 24 Pargana, north modern day Calcutta or Calcutta in West Bengal. It is the site of many wonderful spiritual pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his close personal associates. In this region, at this time of year, June, pre-monsoon, it is so hot, often up in the mid to high 40 degrees Celsius or sometimes 45 to 50 degrees Celsius, and so humid. The most cooling of food in such temperature is yogurt, cool yogurt, dahi or dadhi or doi. In doi, we say it in Bengali. The yogurt in Bengali we call it doi. This pastime of the Lord is about how the devotee pleased Lord Chaitanya and how the Lord reciprocated with the devotees in very wonderful and pleasing festival called the Panihati Chida Dahi Mahotsav. In the village of Panihati, Raghunath Das obtained an interview with Nityananda Prabhu, who was accompanied by many Kirtan performers, servants, and others. Sitting on a rock under a tree or on the bank of the Ganges, Lord Nityananda seemed as effulgent as hundreds and thousands of rising suns. Many devotees sat on the ground surrounding him. Seeing the influence of Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath Dasha was astonished. Raghunath Das offered his obeisances by falling prostrate at a distant place, and the servant of Nityananda Prabhu pointed out, there is Raghunath Dasa offering you obeisances. Hearing this, Lord Nityananda Prabhu said, you are a thief. Now you have come to see me. Come here, come here. Today I shall punish you. The Lord called him. But Raghunatha Dasa did not go near the Lord. Then the Lord forcibly caught him and placed his lotus feet upon Raghunatha Das' head. Make a festival and feed all my associate yogurt and chipped rice. Hearing this, Raghunath Dasa was greatly pleased. Raghunath Dasa brought chipped rice, yogurt, milk, sweet meat, sugar, bananas, and other eatables and placed them all around. As soon as they heard that a festival was going to be held, all kind of Brahmins and other gentlemen began to arrive. Thus there were innumerable people. Seeing the crowd increasing, Raghunath Das arranged to get more eatables from other villages. He also brought 2 to 400 large and round pots. He also obtained 5 or 7, especially large earthen pots. And in these pots, a Brahman began soaking chipped rice for the satisfaction of Lord Nityananda. In one place, chipped rice was soaked in hot milk in each of the large pots. Then the half of the rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas. And the other milk was mixed with condensed milk and a special type of banana known as Kanpak Kala. In Bengali, we call it Kach Kola or something like that. Kampa Kola. Kala. Then sugar calorified butter and camphor were added. After Nityananda Prabhu had changed his clothes for a new one and sat on raised platform. The Brahman brought before him the 7 huge pots. Uh, on that platform, all the most important associates of Sri Nityananda Prabhu as well as other either important men sat down in circle around the Lord. Among them were Ramadasa, Sundarananda, Gadadhara Dasa, Murari, Kamalakara, Sadashiva, and Puranandra, Dhananjaya, Jagdisha, Parameshwara Dasa, Mahesha, Gauri Dasa, and Hoda Krishnadasa were also there. Similarly, Uddharana Datta Thakur and many other personal associates of the Lord sat on the raised platform with Nityananda Prabhu. No one could count them all. Hearing about this festival, all kind of learned scholars, Brahmins and priests went there. Lord Nityananda Prabhu honored them and made them sit on the raised platform with him. Everyone was offered to earthen pots. In one was put cheap rice with condensed milk, and in the other cheap rice with yogurt. All the other people sat in the groups around the platform. No one could count how many people there were. Each and every one of them was supplied to earthen pots. One of cheap rice soaked in yogurt, and the other of chipped rice soaked in condensed milk. Some of the Brahmins, not having gotten a place on the platform, went to the bank of Ganges with their 2 earthen pots and soaked their cheap rice there. Others who could not get a place even on the bank of Ganges got down into the water and uh, began eating their kinds of cheap rice. Thus, some sat on the platform, some at the base of the platform, some of the bank of the Ganges, and they were all supplied 2 pots each of by the 20 men who distributed the food. At that time, Raghava Pandit arrived there. Seeing the situation, he began to laugh in great surprise. He brought many other kind of food cooked in ghee and offered them to the Lord. This prasad he first placed before Lord Nityananda and then distributed among the devotees. Raghava Pandit said that to Lord Nityananda, "For you, sir, I have already offered food to the deity, but you are engaged in festival here, so the food is lying there untouched." Lord Nityananda replied, "Let me eat all this food here during the day, and I shall eat at your home at night. I belong to a community of cowhead boys, and therefore I generally have many cowhead associates with me. I am happy when we eat together in a picnic like this by the sandy bank of the river." Lord Nityananda made Raghava Pandit sit down and had 2 pots delivered to him also. There were 2 kinds of chipped rice soaked in them. When chipped rice had been served to everyone, Lord Nityananda Prabhu in meditation brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived, Lord Nityananda Prabhu stood up. They then they saw how the others were enjoying the chipped rice with yogurt and condensed milk. From each and every pot, Lord Nityananda Prabhu took one morsel of chipped rice and pushed it into the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a joke. In this way, Lord Nityananda was walking through all the groups of eaters, and all the Vaishnavas standing there was seeing the fun. No one could understand what Nityananda Prabhu was doing as he walked about. Some, however, who were very fortunate could see that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also there. Then Nityananda Prabhu smiled and sat down. On his right side, he kept 4 pots of chipped rice that had not been made from boiled paddy. Lord Nityananda offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a place and him sat down. Then together the two brothers began eating cheap rice. Seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating with him, Lord Nityananda Prabhu became very happy and excited, uh, exhibited varieties of ecstatic love. Lord Nityananda Prabhu ordered, "All of you eat, chant the holy name of Hari Hari." Immediately the holy name Hari Hari resounded, filling the entire universe. When all the Vaishnavas were chanting the holy name Hari Hari and eating, they remembered how Krishna and Balram ate with their companions, the cowherd boys, on the bank of the Yamuna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu were extremely merciful and liberal. It was Raghunatha Dasa's good fortune that they accepted all these dealings. Who can understand the influence of mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu? He is so powerful that he could induce Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come eat cheap rice on the bank of Ganges. All the confidential devotees who were cowherd boys headed by Sri Ramadas were observed in ecstatic love. They thought the bank of Ganges to the bank of the Yamuna. When the shopkeepers of many other villages heard about the festival, they arrived there to sell cheap rice, yogurt, sweetmeats, and bananas. As they came, bring all kind of food. Raghunath Das purchased it all. He gave them the price of their goods and later fed them the very same food. And anyone who came to see how these funny things were going on was also fed cheap rice, yogurt, and bananas. After Lord Nityananda Prabhu finished eating, he washed his hand and mouth and gave Raghunatha Dasa the food remaining in the four pots. There was food remaining in the three other big pots of Lord Nityananda, and a Brahman distributed it to the all devotees, giving a morsel to each. The Brahman brought a flower garland, placed to the garland on Nityananda Prabhu's neck, and smeared sandalwood pulp all over his body. When a servant brought betel nuts and offered them to Lord Nityananda, Lord smiled and chewed them. With his own hand of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he distributed to all devotees who whatever flower, garland, sandalwood pulp, and betel nuts remained. After receiving the remnants of the food left by the Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunatha Dasa, who was greatly happy, ate some and distributed the rest among his own associates. Thus have I described the pastimes of Lord Nityananda Prabhu in relation to the celebration or how they celebrated the festival of cheap rice and yogurt. Basically, the how they celebrated the festival, Chida Dahi festival. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, Antalila, Volume 2, Chapter 6, the meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raghunatha Das Goswami. A summary of this chapter is given by Bhakti Vinod Thakur in his Amrita Prabha Bhasya as follows. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to transcendental feats of ecstatic love, Ramananda Rai and Swarupa Damodar Goswami attended to him and satisfied him as he desired. Raghunatha Dasa Goswami had been attempting to come to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for a long time, and finally he left his home and met Lord. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had gone to Shantipur on his way to Vrindavan, Raghunath Das Goswami had offered to dedicate his life at the lotus feet, Lord's lotus feet. In the meantime, however, a Mohammedan official became envious of his Hiranya Dasa, Raghunatha Das Goswami uncle. Raghunath Das Goswami's uncle and induced some big official court minister to have him arrested. Thus Hiranyadasa left his home, but by the intelligence of Raghunath Dasa, the misunderstanding was mitigated. Then Raghunath Dasa went to Panihati and, following the order of Nityananda Prabhu, he observed a festival Chida Dahi Mahotsav by distributing cheap rice mixed with yogurt. The day after the festival, Nityananda Prabhu gave Raghunath Dasa the blessing that he could be very soon attend the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After this incident, Raghunath Dasa, with the help of his priest, whose name was Yadunandana Acharya, got out of his house by trickery and thus ran away. Not touching the general path, Raghunath Das Goswami secretly went to Jagannath Puri. After 12 days, he arrived in Jagannath Puri at lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu interested Raghunath Das Goswami to Swarupa Das Goswami. Therefore, and another name of for Raghunath Goswami is Swarup Shavarupera Raghu, or the Raghunatha of Swarupa Damodar. For 5 days, Raghunath Das Goswami took prasada at the temple, but later he would stand at the Simha Dwara gate and eat only whatever he could gather by alms. Alms means vikha, whatever he can beg. Later, he lived by taking alms from various chatras or food distributing center. When Raghunath's father received news of this, he sent some men and money by Raghunath Das Goswami refused to accept the money. Understanding that Raghunath Das Goswami was living by begging from the chatras, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented him with his own Gunjamala and a stone from Govardhan Hill. Thereafter, Raghunath Das Goswami used to eat rejected food and that he had collected and washed. This renounced life greatly pleased both Swarup Damodara Goswami and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took by force some of the same food, thus blessing Raghunath Das Goswami for his renunciation. This is sannyas life basically. Antalila 6.35. Basically, the translation is in this way, Raghunath Dasa passed 1 year exactly like a first class business manager, but the next year he again decided to leave home. अंतलीला 6.36 रत्रे उठी एकेला चलीला पालना दूरा है ते पकिता तनेरे अनिल धैर्या. The translation is he got up alone one night and left, but his father caught him in a distant place and brought him back. Antalila 6.37 ei mate बर पालिया धरिया निया तवे तनर माता कहे तनर पिता शने. Translation: this became almost a daily affair. Raghunath would run away from home, and his father would again and again bring him back. Raghunath Das's mother began speaking to his father. Antelila 6.38 पुत्र बतुला है इला एहिया रखा बंधिया तनरा पिता कहे तारे निर्विना हना. Our son has become mad, she said. Just keep him by binding him with ropes. His father, being very unhappy, replied to her as follow. Antalila 6.39. Indra Shama, Aishwarya, Sri Apsara Shama, Aisava Bandhiyate Nari Lekaya Naramana. Raghunath Dasa, our son, has opulence like Indra, the heavenly king, and his wife is beautiful as an angel. Yet all this could not tie down his mind. Antya 6.40 દાદીરા બાંધી અને તનેરે રાખીવા કે માતે જન્મ દાતા પિતા નારે પરવદ ખંડે તે. Translation: how they could we keep this body home by binding him with ropes? It is not possible even for one's father to nullify the reaction of one past activities. Uh, Antya 6.41 चैतन्य चंद्रेरा कृपा होने छे ये नारे चैतन्य चंद्रे बुतुला के रखी ते पारे. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was fully bestowed his mercy on him. Who can keep home such a madman for Chaitanya Chandra? Antya 6.42 तबे रघुनाथ किछु विचारेले मने नित्यानंदे घोषानारा पसाचिलल आराधिने. Translation: then Raghunath Dasa considered something in his mind. Then and the next day he went to Nityananda Goshani. Until Leela 6.43 पानिहाटी गरा में पहले प्रभु रा दर्शन कीर्तन्य सेवक संगे आरा बहु ज्ञाना. In the village of Panihati, Raghunatha Dasya obtained an interview with Nityananda Prabhu, who was accompanied by many kirtana performers performers, servants, and other. uh, until Lila 6.44. गंगा तीरे वृक्ष मूले पिंदर ऊपरे बसिया छे नैयन कोटि सूर्य उदय करे. Translation: sitting on a rock under a tree on the bank of the Ganges, Lord Nityananda seemed as an effulgent as hundred and thousand of rising sun. अंत्यलीला 6.45. ताले ऊपरे बहु भक्त ह्याने छे विशेष हिताता देखी प्रभु प्रभाव रघुनाथ विस्मिता. Many devotees sat on the ground surrounding him, seeing the influence of Nityananda Prabhu. Raghunatha thus was astonished. uh, अंतलीला 6.46. दंडवत दंडवत हन से पदिला कत दूरे सेवक कहे रघुनाथ दंडवत करे. Raghunatha Das offered his obeisances by falling prostrate at a distant place, and the servant of Nityananda Prabhu pointed out, "There is Raghunath Dasha offering obeisances." अंतिल 6.47. सुनी प्रभु कहे कोरा दिली दर्शन आए आए आदि तोरा करीमु दंडना. Hearing this, Lord Nityananda Prabhu said, "You are a thief. Now you have come to see me. Come here, come here. Today I shall punish you." प्रभु बोले या तेनो निखाते ना करे गमन आकर्षीय तनरा माथे प्रभु धरी चरण. The Lord called him, but Raghunatha Das did not go near the Lord. Then Lord forcibly caught him and placed his lotus feet upon Raghunatha Das' head. Until Leela 6.49. कौतिक्य नित्यानंद सहेजे दया माया रघुनाथे कहे किछु हनस दया. Translation: Lord Nityananda was by nature very merciful, and being merciful, he spoke to Raghunatha Dasa as follows. अंत्यलीला 6.50. निकटे ना आशा चोरा भागा दूरे दूरे आजी लागे पानाची दांदी मुहे तुम्हारे. You are just like a thief, for instead of coming near, you stay away at a distant place. Now that I have captured you, I shall punish you. अंत्यलीला 6.51. दही चीड़ा भक्षण करह मोर गान सुनी आनंदित हैल रघुनाथ माने. Make a festival and feed all my associates yogurt and cheap rice. Hearing this, Raghunatha Daso was greatly pleased. Say 6.52. Say chana niza loka pathaila grame भिक्षा द्रव्य लोक सब ग्राम है ते आने. Translation: Raghunatha Das immediately sent his own men to village to purchase all kind of eatables and bring them back. Chida Dahi Dugda Sandesha Arachi Nicola Sabadravya Ane Chura ke Dharila. Raghunatha Dasa brought cheap rice, yogurt, milk, sweetmeats, sugar, bananas, and other eatables and placed them all ground. 6.54. महोत्सव नाम सुनी ब्राह्मण सजना आतिथे लागिले लोके असंख्य गणना. As soon as they heard that a festival was going to be held, all kind of Brahmins and other gentlemen began to arrive. Thus there was innumerable people. 6.55. Are gramatare haite shamagiri anila shatadvichari holona tana anaila. Seeing the crowd increasing, Raghunatha Dasa arranged to get more eatables from other villages. He also brought 2 to 400 large round earthen pots. बड़ा बड़ा मृत कुंडी का आने इला पंचसते एका विप्र प्रभु लागी चीड़ा भजी यताते. He also obtained 5 or 7 especially large or earthen pot, and in these pots Brahman began soaking cheap rice for the satisfaction of Lord Nityananda. एका थानी सप्त दुगदे चीड़ा भजिना अर्धे का चनीला दादी चीनी कला दिया. In one place, a cheap rice was soaked in hot milk in each of the large pots. Then half the rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and banana. 6.58. Ara ardika ganavrita dugadite chanahila kanapakela chini gari kurupura tate dila. The other half was mixed with condensed milk and a special type of banana known as kanpakala. Basically, in Bengal, it is called kachkola or something, unripe banana. Then sugar, clarified butter, and kampur were added. not unripe, but it's something related to banana. अंत 6.59 धुती पारी प्रभु यदि पिंधा देते वशिला तथा कुंडे दीपी पर नर अगते धरिला. After Nityananda Prabhu had changed his clothes for a new one and sat on a raised platform, the Brahmana brought before him the seven huge pots. चबूतरता ऊपरे यता प्रभुर निजे गणे बड़ा बड़ा लोके वसीले मंडिले रचने. On the platform, all the most important associates of Sri Nityananda Prabhu as well as the other important men sat down in the circle around the Lord. रामदास सुंदरनंद दास गदाधर मुरारी कमलकर सदाशिव पुरानंदरा. Among them were Ramadasa, Sundara Nanda, Gadadhara Dasa, Murari, Kamalakara, Sadashiva and Puranandra. 6.62 धनंजय जगदीश परमेश्वर दास महिष गौरी दास होळा कृष्णदास. धनंजय जगदीश परमेश्वर दास महिष गौरी दास and होळा कृष्णदास were also there. उदाहरण दत्त आदि यत निज गाना उपरे वसील सब के कारे गना गना गणना. Similarly, Udharanadatta Thakur and many other personal associates of the Lord sat on the right platform with Nityananda Prabhu. No one could count them all. Purport. The devotees mentioned herein are described by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Anuhasya. For further information, one may consult the following reference in Adi Lila, Ramadas chapter 10, text 116 and 118, and chapter 11, text 13 and 16. And Sundarananda 11.23 and Gadadhara Dasa 10.53. His full name was Murari Chaitanya Dasa. He is also a personal associate of Nityananda Prabhu. Thus one should consult chapter 11, text 20, Kamala Rakada 11.24, Sadashiva 11.38, Puranandra 11.28, Dhananjaya 11.38, Jagdisha 11.30, Parmeshwara 11.29, Mahesha 1.32, Gauri Dasha 11.26, Hoda Krishna Dasa 1.47, उदाहरण दत्त ठाकुर 1.41. अंत्य लीला 6.64. सुनी पंडित भट्टाचार्य यथा विपर आयला मनिया करिय प्रभु सबरे ऊपरे वसियाला. Hearing about the festival, all kind of learned scholars, Brahmins and priests went there. Lord Nityananda Prabhu honored them and made them sit on the raised platform with him. अंतलीला 6.65. दुई दुई मृत पुंडिका शबर आगे दिला एके दुग्ध चिड़ा आरे दधी चिड़ा की कैला. Everyone was offered two earthen pots. In one was put cheap rice with condensed milk, in the other cheap rice with yogurt. 6.66. आरायत लोका सब चोतरा तलाने मंदली बांधे वशली तारा ना हाय गणाना. All the other people sat in groups around the platform. No one could count how many people there were. Antalila 6.67. एका एका जाणारे दुई दुई होलो ना दिला देदी चिड़ा दुगद चिड़ा दुई त भजीला. Each and every one of them was supplied two earthen pot, one of cheap rice soaked in yogurt and the other of cheap rice soaked in condensed milk. 6.68. कोना कोना विपरा उपरे स्थान ना पाना दुहलने चिड़ा भजिया गंगा तीरे गिये. Some of the Brahmins not having gotten a place on the platform went to the bank of the Ganges with their two earthen pots and soaked their cheap rice there. 6.69. हिरे असताना ना पाना आराकत गाना जले नामी दधी चिड़ा करेय भक्षेना. Other who could not get a place even on the bank of Ganges got down into the water and began eating. They had two kinds of cheap rice. Well, means everyone get two earthen pots. Uh, are very luckily, or they are not even getting the places to eat. So they go inside the river Ganges, and they are eating inside the river. 6.70 केहे ऊपर कहे ताले केहे गंगा तीरे विसर्जन तीन थानी परिवेशन करे. The some sat on the platform and some at the base of the platform and some on the banks of the Ganges, and they were supplied two pots each of that 20 men who distributed the food. हेना काले आइला था राघव पंडित हसीते लगिला देखी हना विषमिता. At that time, Raghava Pandit arrived there. Seeing the situation, he began to laugh in great surprise. 6.72 निसकळी नाना माता प्रसाद आणिले प्रभु रे आगिय दिये भक्तगण वाटी दिले. He brought many other kinds of food cooked in ghee and offered to the Lord. This prasad he felt placed before Lord Nityananda and then distributed among the devotees. 6.73 प्रभुरा कही तोमा लागिला भोग लागेला तुम्ही यहाँ उत्सव करा घरे प्रसाद रहिला. इज सेइंग मैंने घर में ऑलरेडी ये प्रसाद आपको भोग लगाया था और आप यहाँ अपने एसोसिएट्स के साथ यहाँ प्रसाद पा रहे. राघव पंडिता said to Lord Nityananda, for you sir, I have already offered food to the deity, but you are here engaged in festival here, so the food is lying there untouched. प्रभु कहे 6.74 प्रभु कहे ए द्रव्य दिने करिए भोजना रात्रे तुम्हारा घरे प्रसाद करी मु भक्षना. Lord Nityananda replied, let me eat all this food here during the day and I shall eat at your home at night. 6.75 गोपा जाती आम्ही बहु गोपागणा संगे आम्ही सुख पाई ए फुलीना भोजन रंगे. I belong to the committee of cowhead boys and therefore I generally have a many cowhead associates with me. I am happy when we eat together in a picnic like this by the sandy banks of the river. 6.76 राघवे बसन दुई कुंडी दियोइला राघव दुविद चिड़ा ताते भजियला. Lord Nityananda made Raghava Pandit sit down and had two pots delivered to him also. There were two kinds of cheap rice soaked them. सकल लोकेरा चिड़ा पुराण यवहैला ध्यान तबे प्रभु महाप्रभु अनिला. When cheap rice had been served to everyone, Lord Nityananda Prabhu in meditation brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. महाप्रभु वायला देखी निताई उठियला तनरे लाना शबर चिड़ा देखीते लगिला. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived, Lord Nityananda Prabhu stood up. They then saw how the other were enjoying the cheap rice with yogurt and condensed milk. 6.79 सकल कुंडीरा ओलनार चिड़ा एका एका ग्रासा महाप्रभुरा मुखे देना करी परिहासा. From each and every pot, Lord Nityananda Prabhu took one morsel of cheap rice and pushed it into the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as joke. In 6.80 हसी महाप्रभु आरा एका ग्रासलाना तनारा मुखे दिए कहो यह हसी हसिया. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also smiling, took a morsel of food, pushed it into the mouth of Lord Nityananda and laughed as he made Lord Nityananda to eat it. 6.81 এই মাতা নিতাই বলে এই মাতা নিতাই বলে সকলা মণ্ডলে দন্দনা range দেখে Vaishnava sakale. In this way, Lord Nityananda was walking through all the groups of eaters and all the Vaishnava standing there were seeing the fun. की करिए वेदाया यही कहे नहीं जाना महाप्रभु रा दर्शन पाए यही कोना भगवाने. No one could understand what Nityananda Prabhu was doing as he walked about. Some, however, he were very fortunate could see that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also there. 6.83 तबे हसी नित्यानंद वसीले आशेने करी कुंदी आरोये चिड़ा रखी दहीने. Then Nityananda Prabhu smiled and sit down. On his right side, he kept 4 pots of chipped rice that had not made from boiled paddy. आशन दिया महाप्रभु रे तहन वसियला दुई भाई तबे चिड़ा खाइते लगिले. Lord Nityananda offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a place and had him sit down. Then together the brothers began eating cheap rice. देखी नित्यानंद प्रभु आनंदित हईले कथा कथा भावे वेश प्रक्षिला करिले. Seeing Lord Nityananda, seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating with him, Lord Nityananda Prabhu become very happy, exhibited varieties of ecstatic love and dance. In 6.86, आज्ञा न दिला हरिबली करहा भजन हरि हरि धवनी उठी भरिल भुवना. Lord Nityananda Prabhu ordered all of you eat and chant the holy name of Hari Hari. Immediately the whole name Hari Hari resounded filling in the entire universe. Until Leela 6.87 Hari Hari Bali Vaishnava Kare Bhojana Pulina Bhojana Shavara Heila Smarana. When all the Vaishnava were chanting the holy name of Hari Hari and eating, they remembered how Krishna and Balrama ate with their companions the cowhead boys on the bank of Yamuna. 6.88 Nityananda Mahaprabhu Kripalu Udara Nityananda Mahaprabhu Kripalu Udara Raghunatha Tera Bhagya Eta Kaile Angikara. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu were extremely merciful and liberal. It was Raghunath Dasa's good fortune that they accepted all these dealings. 6.89 Nityananda Prabhava Kripa Janibe Kona Jana Mahaprabhu Anikara E Pulina Bhojana. Who can understand the influence and mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu? And he is so merciful that he induced Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come eat and keep rice on the bank of the Ganges. 6.90 Sri Ramadashadi Gopa Premavasita Haile Ganga Tire Yamuna Pulina Jnana Kaile. All the confidential devotees who were cow-headed boys, headed by Sri Ramadas, were observed in ecstatic love. They thought the bank of Ganges to the bank of the Yamuna. 6.91 Mahotsav Suni Pasari Nana Grama Haite Chida Dadi Shandeshakala Anila Vesite. When the shopkeeper of many other villages heard about the festival, they arrived there to sell cheap rice, yogurt, sweetmeats, and banana. 6.92 यतद्रव्यलान यश शव मूल्य करिलेय तारा द्रव्य मूल्य दिए तहर कहवाए. As they come, bring all kind of food. Raghunatha Dasa purchased it all. He gave them the price of their goods and later fed them the very same food. 6.93 कौतुका देखी हेते आले यता यता ज्ञाना ते चिड़ा ददी कला करियला भक्षना. Anyone who came to see how these funny things were going on was also fed cheap rice, yogurt, and bananas. 6.94 भोजन करी नित्यानंद आचमन कैले चरी कुंदीर अवशिष रघुनाथ दिले. After Lord Nityananda finished eating, he washed his hand and mouth and gave Raghunatha Dasa the food remaining in the four words of the remnants Lord Nityananda Prabhu left. He gave to Raghunatha Dasya in 6.95 आरतीना कुंदी की अवशेष छिला ग्रासे ग्रासे करी विपर शव भकत दिले. There was a food remaining in three other big pot of Lord Nityananda, and Brahmana distributed it to all the devotees, giving a morsel to each. Until year 6.96, पुष्पमाला विपर आणि प्रभु गले दिले चंदन आणि प्रभु रे सर्वज्ञ लेपिले. The Brahmana bought a flower garland, placed the garland on Nityananda Prabhu's neck and smeared the sandalwood pulp all over his body. 6.97 सेवक सेवक तंबुलाना करे समर्पण हसिय हसिय प्रभु करे चरवन. When a servant brought the betel nuts and offered them to Lord Nityananda, Lord smiled and chewed them. 6.98 माला चंदना तंबुला शेषाई अछिला श्री हसित प्रभुतः शवाके वाटी दिले दिला. With his own hand, Lord Nityananda Prabhu distributed to all devotees whatever flower garlands, sandalwood pulp, and betel nuts remained. In 6.99, आनंदित रघुनाथ प्रभु रसेस अपना रगन सह खैल बटिया. After receiving the remnants of food left by Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunatha Dasa, who was greatly happy, ate some and distributed the rest of it among his own associates. 6.100 eight कहिलु नित्यानंदेरा बिहारा चिड़ा देही महोत्सव नामे ख्याति यारा. Thus, I have described the pastime of Lord Nityananda Prabhu in relation to the celebrated festival of chipped rice and yogurt. In 6.101 प्रभु विश्रामे कइले यदि दिन शेष हइले रघुनाथ मंदिरे मंदिरे तबे कीर्तन आरंभ हइले न Lord Nityananda Prabhu rested for the day, and when the day ended, he went to the temple of Raghunath Pandit and began congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And 6.102 भक्त सब नाचन नित्यानंद राय जैसे नृत्य करे प्रेम जगत भासिया Lord Nityananda Prabhu first influenced all the devotees to the dance, and finally he himself began dancing, thus inundating the entire world in ecstatic love. In 6.103 महाप्रभु तनर नृत्य करे न दर्शन सब शवे नित्यानंद देखे न देखे अन्य गण Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was observing the dance of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu could see this, but the others could not. In 6.104 नित्यानंदरे नृत्ययन तनहर नरतने उपमा दिबरे नहीं एतन भुवने. The dancing of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, like the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, cannot be compared to anything within these three worlds. नृत्यर मधुरी के बरिनी बेरा पारे महाप्रभु ऐसे ये नृत्य देखी वरे. No one could properly describe the sweetness of Lord Nityananda dancing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally come to see it. नृत्य करी प्रभु अबे विश्राम करिले भोजन रे लगिला पंडित निवेदन कइले. After the dancing and after Lord Nityananda had rested, Raghav Pandit submitted his request that the Lord to take super super. In 6.107 भोजने बसीले प्रभु निजे गाना लाने महाप्रभु रा आसने दाहिने पतिया. Lord Nityananda Prabhu sat down for super with his personal associate and made sitting place on his right side for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. महाप्रभु आशीषे आसने बसीले देखी रघुबेरा राघवेरा माने आनंद बढ़ियले. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there and sat down at his place. Seeing this, Raghava Pandit felt increasing happiness. Seeing this, Raghava Pandit felt increasing happiness. Raghava Pandit felt increasing happiness. In 6.109 दुई भाई आगे प्रसाद आणि धरिले सकाले वैष्णव पीछे परिवेशन कइले. Raghava Pandit brought the prasad before the two brothers and therefore distributed the prasad to all the other Vaishnava. In 6.110 नाना प्रकार पीठा प्यासा दिव्य सलियाना अमृत निंदे आचे विविधन व्यंजना. There are variety of cake, sweet rice, and fine cooked rice that were surpassed the taste of nectar. There were also varieties of vegetable. In 6.11 राघव तुकेरेर प्रसाद अमृतेर सारा महाप्रभु यहाँ खैते यश बड़ा बड़ा. The food prepared and offered to the deity by Raghava Pandit was like the essence of nectar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there again and again to eat such prasad. अच्छा हाँ. 6.112 पक्का करी राघव या भोगा लगाया महाप्रभु रह लगी भोगा पृथिका बढ़ाया. When Raghava Pandit offered the food to the deity after cooking, he would make a separate offering to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In 6.113 प्रतिदिन महाप्रभु करे न भोजना मध्य मध्य प्रभु तने रे देना दर्शना. Every day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would eat at the house of Raghava Pandit. Sometimes he would give him Raghava Pandit the opportunity to see him. दुई भाईरा राघव आणि परिवेश यत्न करी खाया न रहे अविशेषा. I am repeating this verse. दुई भाईरे राघव आणि परिवेश यत्न करी खाए न रहे अविशेषा. Aveshesha means there is no remaining left, nothing left because they eat everything. Raghava Pandita would bring and distributed distribute prasad to two brothers, feeding them with great attention. They ate everything, and therefore there were no remains left. काटा उपहार आने है ना नहीं जाने राघवर घरे राधे राधा ठाकुरानी. He brought so many presentation. He brought so many presentations that no one could know them perfectly. Indeed, it was a fact that Supreme Mother Radharani personally cooked in the house of Raghav Pandita. In 1.16, uh, Durvasara Thani Theno Panche Panachena Vara Amarita Hetapaka Tanara Adhika Madura. Srimati Radharani received from Durvasha Muni in the benediction that whatever she cooked would be sweeter than nectar. Gopal Champu. That is the special feature of her cooking. अंत्यलीला 6.117 सुगंधि सुंदर प्रसाद मधुर्य रसेरा सारा दुय भयतः खाना संतोषा अपारा. Aromatic and pleasing to see, the food was essence of all sweetness. Thus the two brothers, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, ate it all great satisfaction. In 6.118 भोजने बसित रघुनाथ कहे सर्वगाना पंडित कहे इन्हें पीछे करीब भोजना. All the devotees present requested Raghunatha Dasa to sit down and take prasada, but Raghava Pandita told them he will take prasad later. In 6.119, Bhakata Gana Akhanta Bhariya Karila Bhojana Haridhavani Kari Uti Kaila Achamana. All the devotees took prasad, filling themselves to the brim. Thereafter, chanting the holy name Hari, they stood up and washed their hands and mouth. भोजन करी दुय भई कैले आचमना राघव आणि परियल मलय चंदना. After eating, the two brothers washed their hands and mouth. The Raghav Pandit brought flower, garlands, and sandalwood pulp and decorated them. विदा कोयला विदा कोयला कोयला विदा खावा कोयला कैला चरण वंदन भक्त गान दिल विदा मलय चंदना. Raghav Pandita offered them betel nuts and worshipped their lotus feet. He also distributed petal nuts, flower garlands, and sandalwood pulps to the devotee. राघवेर कृपा रघुनाथ रे ऊपर दुई भाई रे अवशिष्टा पतर दिल तनरे. Raghava Pandita, being very merciful toward Raghunatha Dasa, offered him the dishes with the remnants of food left by the two brothers. Kahila in 16.123 Kahila Chaitanya Goshani Kari Yachane Bhojana Tanrase Sapaila Tumara Khandila Bandhana. He said, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has eaten this food. If you take his remnants, you will be released from the bondage of your family. In 6.124 भक्त चित्त भक्त गृह सदा अवस्थाना कभु गुपत कभु व्यकत स्वतंत्र भगवाना. The Supreme Personality of Godhead always resides either in the heart or in the home of a devotee. This fact is sometimes hidden or sometimes manifest, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is fully independent. In 6.125 सर्वत्र व्यापक प्रभुर सदा सर्वत्र वासा एहात समस्या या रस याई नाशा. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is all pervasive and therefore he resides everywhere. Anyone who doubts this will be annihilated. In 6.126 प्रतिनित्यानंद प्रभु गंगा स्नान करिए सही वृक्षमूले वसील निज गण लाना. In the morning, after taking his bath in the Ganges, Nityananda Prabhu sat down with his associate beneath the same tree under which he had previously sat. And 6.127 Raghunatha Asi Kaila Charana Vandana Raghunatha Pandit Dvara Kaila Nivedana. Raghunatha Dasa went there and worshipped Lord Nityananda lotus feet. Though Raghunatha Pandit, he submitted his desire. अधम पामरा मुई हीन जीव धमा मोरा इच्छा है पाना चैतन्य चरना. I am the lowest of man. I am most sinful and fallen, condemned. Nevertheless, I desire to attain the center of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In 6.129, Bamana Hanayana Chandana धरीवर छाया अनेक यतन कैनु तात कबू सिद्ध नया. Like a dwarf who wants to catch the moon, I have tried my best many times, but I have never been successful. 6.130 यतावर पलाई अमी गिरहदी चढ़ाई पिता माता दुई मोरा रखी है बंधी है. Every time I tried to go and give up my home relationship, my mother and father unfortunately kept me bound. अंत्यलीला 6.131 तुम्हारा कृपा भी न कही चैतन्य न पाए तुम्ही कृपा को ले तन अधम्य पाए. ट्रांसलेशन नो वन कैन अटेन द सेंटर ऑफ श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु विदाउट योर मर्सी. मतलब रघुनाथ दास सेइंग दैट no one can get the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu until and unless the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So we have to always keep pray to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. We have always request Nityananda Prabhu in front of Nityananda Prabhu the mercy of even without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu we cannot even get the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should before reaching Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we should approach Lord Nityananda Prabhu because he is very close associate to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should first approach to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. No one can attain the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without your mercy. But if you are merciful, even the lowest man can attain shelter of his lotus feet. In Antya Leela 6.132. अयोग्य मुई निवेदन करी ते करी भाया मोरे चैतन्य देहा गोशानी हन सदाया. Although I am unfit and greatly afraid to submit this plea, I nevertheless request you, sir, to be especially merciful toward me by granting me the shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In 6.133, मोरा माथे पद धरी करह प्रसादे निर्विघ्न चैतन्य पाना कर आशीर्वाद. Placing your feet on my head, give me the benediction that I may achieve the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without difficulty. I pray for this benediction. 6.134 सुनी हसी कहे प्रभु सब भक्त गण एहारे विषय सुख इंद्र सुख समा. After hearing this appeal by Raghunatha Dasa, Lord Nityananda Prabhu smiled and told all the devotees, Raghunatha Dasa's standard of material happiness is equal to that of Indra, the king of heaven. 6.135 चैतन्य कृपा ते शेह नहीं भय माने तबे आशीर्वाद कर पोइक चैतन्य चरणे. Because of the mercy bestowed upon him by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Raghunatha Dasa, although situated in such material happiness, does not like it all. Therefore, let every one of you be merciful toward him and give him the benediction that he may be very soon attain the shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. अंत्यलीला 6.136 कृष्ण पद पद्म गंध यही जन पाया ब्रह्मलोकवादी सुख तनरे नहीं भाया. Translation one who experiences the fragrance of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna does not even value the standard of happiness available in Brahmalok, the topmost planet, and what to speak of heavenly happiness. In 6.137 এই দুষ্টে গানা এই यो दुष्टे गाना दरा सुतना सुहृदरा गेयम हरिदास परिसा जहाँ उबी बन malavidha uttama shloka lalasa. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is offered sublime poetic praise by those trying to attain his favor. Thus, he is known as Uttam Shloka, being very eager to gain the association of Lord Krishna. King Bharata, although in the prime of youth, gave up his every attractive wife, affectionate children, most beloved friends, and opulent kingdom, exactly as one give up stool after excreting it. Purport. This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam, canto 5th canto, chapter 14, text number 43. अंत्यलीला 6.138 तवे रघुनाथ प्रभु निकट बोलैले तनरा माथे पद धरी कहिते लगिले. Then Lord Nityananda Prabhu called Raghunatha Dasa near him and placed his lotus feet upon Raghunatha Dasa's head and began to speak. In 6.139 तुम्ही ये करिले ये पुलिना भोजना तुम्हें कृपा करी गौरा कइले आगमना. My dear Raghunatha Dasa, he said, since you arranged the feast on the bank of Raghunath, on the banks of Ganges, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here just to show you his mercy. 6.140 कृपा करी कैले चिड़ा दुग्ध भोजन नृत्य देखी रे रात्रे कैले प्रसाद भक्षण. Translation: by his causeless mercy, he ate the chipped rice and milk. Then, after seeing the dancing of the devotee at the night, he took his supper. Antalila 6.141 तोमा उद्धरित गौरा आइलेयपने छुतले तुम्हारा यत बिगह नदी बंधने. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Gaurahari came here personally to deliver you. Now rest assured that all the impediments meant for you bondage are gone. अंतलीला 6.142 स्वरूपेरा स्थाने तोमा करीबे समर्पणे अंतरन भृत्य बलि रखिबे चरणे. Translation: Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will accept you and place you under the charge of his secretary Swarupa Damodar. You will thus become one of the most confidential internal servant and will attend the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Antalila 6.143 नितिचिंतन यहाँ अपन भवन अचिर निर्विघ्न पावे चैतन्य चरण. Being assured all of this, return to your home very soon without impediment. You will attend the shelter of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In 6.144 सब भक्त दवारे तनरे आशीर्वाद करिले तन सबर चरण रघुनाथ वंदिले. रघुनाथ वंदिले. 6.1 I will repeat the text until 6.144 सब भक्त द्वारे तनरे आशीर्वाद करिले तन सबर चरण रघुनाथ बंद. Translation: Lord Nityananda had Raghunatha Dasa blessed by all the devotees, and Raghunatha Das has offered his respect to their lotus feet. अंत्यलीला 6.145 प्रभु आज्ञा लान वैष्णवेर आज्ञा लाइला राघव सहित निवेरित युक्ति करियेला. After taking leave of Lord Nityananda Prabhu and then all the other Vaishnavas, Sri Raghunatha Dasa consulted secretly with Raghava Pandit. In 6.146 युक्ति युक्ति करी सता मुदर सोना तोला सते निबहरिते दिला प्रभुर भंडारी हते. After consulting with Raghava Pandit, he secretly delivered 100 gold coins and about 7 tolas of gold to the hand of Nityananda's two treasurers. What is the treasurer's names of Lord Nityananda Prabhu is Raghava Pandit, Raghunath Dasa. Give consult with Raghava Pandit. Then he secretly delivered 100 gold coins and about 7 tolas of gold to the hand of Nityananda Prabhu's treasurer. अंत्यलीला 6.147 तनरे निषेधिला प्रभुरे एव न खइब निज गहिरे अवे न यव तबे निवेदिव. Translation: Raghunath Dasa admonished the treasurer, do not speak about this to the Lord Nityananda Prabhu now, but when he return home, kindly inform him about this presentation. Antalila 6.148 तबे राघव पंडित तनरे घरे लान गेला ठाकुर दर्शन करन मल चंदन दिल. Thereupon Raghav Pandit took Raghunath Dasa to his home. After inducing him to see the deity, he gave Raghunath Dasa a garland and sandalwood pearl. In 6.149 अनेक प्रसाद दिल पाथे खाई बरा तबे पुनः रघुनाथ कहे पंडित तेरे. Translation: He gave Raghunath Dasa large quantity of prasad to eat on his way home. Then Raghunath Das again spoke to Raghav Pandita. 6.150 प्रभुर संगे यत महांत भरिते अशिरत ज्ञान पूजियत चाहे यामी शवर चरण. I want to give money, he said, just to worship the lotus feet of all the great devotees and servant and sub-servant of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. In 6 Antalila 6.151 Bisa Panchadasa Baradasa Panchahaya मुद्रा देह बिचारी यारा यथा योग्य होया हया. As you think fit, give 20, 15, 12, 10 or 5 point to each of them. Until Lila 6.152. Sabalecha kariya Raghava pasadila. Yanara name yata Raghava chithi likhe yala. Raghunatha Dasa drew up an account of the amount of to be given, and Raghunatha Das drew up an account of the amount to be given and submitted to the it to the Raghav Pandita, who then made up a list showing how much money has to be paid to each and every devotee. 6.153. एका सत्ता मुद्रा आरा सोना तोला देबया पंडितरे आगे दिला करिय विनाया. With great humility, Raghunatha Dasa placed 100 gold coin and about 2 tolas of gold before Raghava Pandit for all the other devotees. 6.154. तनरपद धुलीला न सबगैर अहिला नित्यानंद कृपापाना कृत हर मनीला. Translation: After taking dust from the lotus feet of Raghav, Pandit Raghunatha Dasha returned to his home, feeling greatly obligated Lord Nityananda's Prabhu because of having received his merciful benediction. Panihati even to this day remains the rice tradition capital of Bengal, and as many of you would know, Bengali is the rice capital of India. In India, they decided that as well as puffing the rice, they can flatten the rice. This makes for a variety in taste, and it is easily digested and cools the body. There are many varieties of Chira Dahi. The base is of it is usually as mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The two pots were brought by each devotee, one of chipped rice soaked in yogurt and the other of chipped rice soaked in condensed milk. There are also many nice fruits such as banana, mango, chiku, papaya, etc. Different sugar, rose water, saffron, camphor, etc. That there are carefully and tested combined, making a sumptuous feast, no, opulent feast, sumptuous prasadam feast for the Lord. So some are sweet with yogurt and some are sweet with condensed milk, khoya, and some are salty with yogurt. Here are the reference. Until ila 6.53. चिडा दधी चिडा दैवी दुग्ध संदेश आराची निकाला शबद्रव्य आना चुळी एक धारीला. Raghunatha Dasa brought cheap rice, yogurt, milk, sweetmeat, sugar, banana, and other eatables and placed them all around. 6.54. महोत्सव नाम असुनी ब्राह्मण सज्जना असिते लागिला लोक असंख्य गाना. As soon as they heard that a festival are going to be held, all kind of Brahmins and other gentlemen began to arrive. Thus, there were innumerable people. 6155. आर आर ग्राम तर हायते समगैर आणिले शतद्विचारी होलना तन्हा आणिले. Seeing the crowd increasing, Raghunatha Dasa arranged to get more eatables from other villages. He also brought two to 400 large round earthen pots. In 656, बड़ा बड़ा मृत कुंडिका आणि येल पंचसाते एका विप्र प्रभु लागी चिड़ा भुजी येताते. Translation: He also obtained 5 or 7 especially large earthen pots. In these pots, a Brahman began soaking cheap rice for the satisfaction of Lord Nityananda. In Antilila 6.57, एका थानी तपता दुगध चिड़ा भजना अर्धे का चीनी चनीला दधी चीनी कला दिए. In one place, cheap rice was soaked in hot milk in each of the large pots, and then half the rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas. Antalila 6.58. अर अर्धे का घनवृत दुग्धेत चनीला कंपकाला चीनी गरेहित कर्पूर तते दिलं. The other half was mixed with condensed milk and a special type of banana known as kampakela. Then the sugar, clarified butter, and kampur were added. So this is the whole process how they celebrated Chida Dahi Mahotsav. How we can the ultimately conclusion of this. Without the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, we cannot get the shelter of the Supreme Personality. So we should pray. We should beg the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. We should beg the mercy again and again. How much we fallen in our sin. We should always pray to Lord Nityananda Prabhu, please give me the mercy, because He is the most merciful and most merciful. Even He always forgives our even our every sinful activities, pious activities, all thing He forgets and gives mercy to us. So for the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, so for the only of getting the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, we can take the shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should always beg the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So how we saw how they celebrated Chida Dahi Mahotsav. We saw how Raghunatha Dasa Thakur, Raghunatha Dasa take the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and how he went to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is how is everything of Chida Dahi Mahotsav. So हैप्पी चीड़ा दही महोत्सव आप सबको थैंक यू हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे थैंक यू